Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we are beginning our look at Pokemon Quest. Pokemon Quest has been out on the Switch for about a month. It's just come out on mobile. I have sunk over 150 hours into the Switch version of it, so I thought I would be sharing some of the lovely knowledge I've accrued during that time. I did do a poll over on Twitter asking you guys, hey, should I start covering Pokemon Quest? And it was fairly close, but the answer was still a yes, and I love that game. So let's start off by looking at the very best and very worst Pokemon in Pokemon Quest. Now, unlike the main Pokemon games, there are not 6 IVs and all of that rubbish. There are only 2 stats that we are judging in Pokemon Quest. We've got HP and we've got attack, and generally speaking, one is a fair bit better than the other. But there is a range, and generally from the lowest possible HP or attack to the highest possible, the range is 400. And there are 2 factors that determine this. Number 1, there is just some randomization. Number 2, the cooking pot that you use. There are 4 pots that you can use, each of which will give you a higher range of potential values for HP and attack. So I'm looking at maximum values here, i.e. highest maximum and lowest maximum. So we are assuming the highest random value, and we are assuming you are using the gold pot from towards the end of the game. Further you get in the game, that's how you unlock these pots. So if you don't use the gold pot, you cannot possibly get to the values I'm talking about today. Now, at this stage, I should probably mention how you actually catch Pokemon in Pokemon Quest, for those that don't know, but I'll be very quick for those that do. Instead of regular catching, what you do is you cook. And hopefully you cook a dish that attracts the kind of Pokemon you want. That is a bunch of different dishes, and I'll go through all that in a future video. But essentially, you pop a bunch of ingredients into a cooking pot, and then it gives you a certain number of expeditions that need to be done. When you complete that expedition, then the number goes down by 1. And if it says 8 and you do 8, then the dish finishes, and when the dish finishes, you will get a Pokemon come along. If you're very lucky, you might get more than 1 Pokemon come along. And then that's it. There's no catching mechanic or anything like that. Pokemon comes along, you make it your buddy, and you're off and rolling. You can, of course, it's a freemium game. You can pay tickets to speed this up a little bit. But as it stands, you just pop a whole bunch of ingredients in, go for a few expeditions, and then when you're done, in comes a Pokemon. So starting off with HP then, the very lowest maximum HP, Hitmonlee with 550. There you will notice during this video there is a large correlation between low HP and high attack, and low attack and high HP. In joint second with 575, we've got Pinsir and Hitmonchan. In joint fourth with 600, we've got Tauros, Cyber, Kingler, Alakazam, Dugtrio, Fearow, and then 10th with 625, we've got Aerodactyl. Now, we're talking base stats here. So what you can do is use stones. Each Pokemon, when you reach level 100, will have 9 slots where you can either put a HP stone, an attack stone, or rarely, you might even get one where you can pop either. So when I say Aerodactyl's only got a maximum of 625, that is before you add the stones in. And with an HP of 625, you're going to need to. Now, in terms of highest HP, in joint 8th with 1100, we've got Articuno, Vaporeon, Lickitung, Onix, and Nidoqueen. In joint 5th place with 1150, we've got Mew, Snorlax, Lapras, Muck, and Slowbro. In 2nd place, and predictably high, we've got Chansey. But the very best possible HP in the game, and this makes me delighted as a fan, is Golem. How awesome is that? Now, moving over to attack, the lowest possible attack in the game is Chansey with 525. Again, this is assuming you're using a gold pot to get the maximum attack, and assuming there's no stones modifying this. In joint second with 600, we've got Lickitung, Onix, and Golem, all of which should seem familiar from very high HP. In 5th place with 625, we've got Mr. Mime. And in joint 6th with 650, we've got Snorlax, Lapras, Muck, Slowbro, Tentacruel, Wigglytuff, and Venusaur. If we look at maximum attack, in 12th place with 1125, we've got Hitmonchan. In joint 6th with 1150, we've got Kabutops, Mew, Zapdos, Starmie, Hitmonlee, and Gengar. In 5th place with 1175, we've got Aerodactyl. In 3rd place, joint with 1200, we've got Cyber and Alakazam. In 2nd place, we've got Pinsir, but the maximum possible attack in Pokemon Quest, base attack, is 1250. That's Mewtwo, which is a lot less interesting because, of course, Mewtwo is going to be one of the best Pokemon. Now, before we look at the best overall Pokemon, I thought we'd look at some balanced Pokemon. Because up till now, we've been talking very high HP or very high attack. It's time to look at Pokemon that are very balanced. Now, in terms of total, and we're going to look at the outliers in a minute, but the vast majority of Pokemon, if you add up the highest base HP without modifiers and the highest base attack without modifiers, you get 17 or 1800. So we're looking now at Pokemon with 1800 total, which are very balanced. So with 800 HP and 1000 attack, we've got Vileplume, Victory Bell, and Rhydon. And then we can start to, swing a little bit the other way. 850 HP, 950 attack, we've got Arcanine, Poliwrath, and Seaking. And if you're completely even at 900 each, we've got Blastoise and Rapidash. And if you want to go slightly the other way with 950 HP and 850 attack, we've got Weezing. But the king, ladies and gentlemen, the king of balance in Pokemon Quest is Dragonite, which actually has 1900 total. It's got 900 HP and 1000 attack. That's pretty gosh darn good. So in terms of the best overall Pokemon then in the entirety of Pokemon Quest, like I've said, the vast majority have either 1700 or 1800 total. But some of them are a little bit sad. The worst Pokemon in the game, and if you haven't realised already, we're only looking at full evolutions. Any Pokemon that can further evolve in the game has been taken away, because otherwise it kind of ruins it. At 1400 total, we've got Butterfree and Beedrill. The worst Pokemon in the game, worse than any Stage 1, worse than any non-evolving basic. With 1500, we've got Sandslash, sorry dude. And with 1600, we've got Raticate, Fearow, Arbok, Raichu, and Gyarados. And there are a few Pokemon that jump up ahead, and they are fairly predictable, I'm afraid. We've got Dragonite at 1900, as we previously mentioned. And all of the legendary birds, your Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos, all come in at a total of 2000. But the two very best Pokemon in the game, fairly predictably so, are Mew and Mewtwo with 2300 each. Well, of course they are. We could have seen that coming. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now we've seen the Pokemon with the best and worst HP, the best and worst attack, the most balanced good Pokemon, and the overall best Pokemon. If you haven't checked out Pokemon Quest, make sure you do so. It is free to play. I absolutely love it. And over the next couple of days, we're going to be looking at whether it's worth paying for, how to actually get through that final level, which is really quite tough, and the best way to catch every single Pokemon in the game. I like you guys. I will do that for you. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, you know the deal. Make sure you click that like button down below. Make sure you subscribe to this video. Tell me, have you played this game? Have you spent money on it? Are you enjoying it? What do you think of it? Go nuts. Be nice. If you want to check out some live action, head on over to twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. Maybe I'll stream some Pokemon Quest soon. Let me know if that would be of interest to you. And do check out the Patreon at patreon.com/PTCGRadio if you want to support the channel and get some bonus podcasts. And if you ask me any Pokemon Quest questions on there, I will of course answer them. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.